Kira and welcome back to the Yoga Corner. Today I'm going to be guiding you through a slow and stretchy practice that is perfect for a good night's sleep. So if you're looking for a practice that's going to set you up for a cozy night in bed, then this is definitely the class for you. So without further ado, let's jump straight into it. We are going to get started today in a seated position. You can just have the legs crossed like me if you'd prefer, but I'm going to be taking a Baddha Konasana, which is a stretch for our hips, where we bring the soles of the feet together and allow the knees to come out to the sides. It's completely up to you whether you want to take this position, and there are a few different ways that you can change the intensity. So if you want to bring the feet slightly closer to the body, that will increase that stretch for the hips. Or if you prefer it to be a little bit more gentle, then you can just increase the shape of the diamond that you've made between the legs and just move the toes slightly further away from the body. So find a version of this posture that works for you. And if the knees are feeling a little bit uncomfortable, you can pop either yoga blocks if you have them, or just some pillows or blankets underneath the knees as well. So once you've found that position, I want you to interlace the hands around the toes, using the connection with the feet to then lengthen the spine. Thinking about actively pulling the body upwards to create a nice sense of energy traveling all the way up to the crown of your head. We're only staying here in this upright position for a full deep breath in. So close the eyes if they're not already. Allow yourself to tune in with the breath and take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale to sigh it out through the mouth. And then with your next inhale, you're going to keep the hands on the feet, but start to bend the elbows out to the sides, and then start to allow the chest to move forwards towards the legs and the head to round down towards the feet. This pose certainly isn't about touching the feet with your head or anything like that, but you really just want to round the back of the body and allow yourself to fold forwards. This will definitely increase the intensity of the stretch for your hips. So just again, remind yourself that if this feels a little bit too intense, then moving the feet further away from the body will help to alleviate some of that pressure. Again, we're going to stay in this position for one full deep breath. So whenever you're ready, allow the attention to settle on your inhale as you take a deep breath in through the nose. And a long exhale out through the mouth. With your next inhale, gently roll up through the spine, allowing yourself to lengthen the body. Release the hands away from the hips, and then we're going to gently guide the knees back together, just using the hands on the outside edges of the legs. We're moving straight into a wide seated position, so whenever you're ready, we're sending the legs out long, but to the side, so you're creating a big V shape with the legs. Once those legs have found that position, think about activating them a little bit further, thinking about pulling the toes back towards the body. Allow yourself to inhale and reach the hands to the sky. Create length through the body as you reach through the fingertips. And as you exhale, your left hand is going to start to travel down the outside of that left leg, and you're going to reach up and over to the left side of your body with the right arm. It doesn't matter how high or far you reach across. It's all about just creating space and meeting your body wherever it is at this evening. So take a bend into that left elbow. It'll help you to create a little bit more ease into this posture. And then you might think about allowing the right shoulder to peel back in space to allow your chest to open up towards the sky. Take one more deep breath in and really actively reach those right hands over to the left, creating as much space as you can. And then as you exhale, gently allow yourself to fold through center. Allow both hands to come over to the left side of the mat, and then just start to walk them through center. Pause there with the arms out ahead of you. You might feel a nice stretch for the insides of the legs here. Take a deep breath in, and a full exhale. And then gently walk the hands back towards your body. Really good. With your next inhale, sweep the hands back up to the sky, reaching nice and tall. And as you exhale, we're taking that on the other side. So your right hand is going to travel down the outside of your right leg, and your left arm is going to reach up and over to the right, creating a really nice long arc through the body as you reach over to that right side of the mat. Doesn't matter how high or far you reach, as always, this is just about feeling how your body wants to move this evening. So just notice how you feel. And then if you do want to increase the intensity of this posture, you can gently bend into your right elbow and use that bend to create a little bit more room for the left arm to reach over. Take one more full deep breath in. And then just as we did before, allow both hands to come down to the inside of that right leg. Gently walk them through to center and then pause there. You might be able to bring the forearms onto the ground, slightly closer to the body. And then just think about folding your chest forwards. Taking a moment here to bring the attention back to the breath. Exhaling completely. And then inhaling to walk the hands back into the body, lifting the chest as you do. Whenever you're ready, you're going to sweep those legs back in together and then take a moment to roll over onto your hands and knees. We're finding our tabletop position here. So you want to make sure that your hands are just underneath the shoulders, your knees are underneath the hips, and then we're going to warm up through the back of the body, taking our cat and cows. So with your next inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest, allow your gaze to come forwards. As you exhale, round through the spine, tuck the chin to the chest. Inhale to drop the belly, lifting the chest, gaze comes forward. And exhale, round through the spine, chin to chest, doming through the back of your body. You might like to close the eyes here. Really move slowly and mindfully through these movements. And just allow yourself to tune in with how these movements feel, rather than what they look like. Following your own breath. Taking 2 more cycles of our cat and cows. And then whenever you're ready, we'll come back to our neutral spine. Thinking about pushing the weight through the hands and then walking the fingertips forwards. You're going to keep the hips elevated and walk your hands towards the front of the mat. Once the hands reach out ahead of you, you're going to keep those hips lifted, really focus on not allowing those hips to fall down towards the feet, and then soften your chest down towards the ground, finding your melting heart pose. As you find this posture, I really want you to notice whether or not you're holding yourself up out of it, and then see whether you can find a little bit more release, allowing the chest to soften down, knowing that whilst this can be quite an intense stretch for the shoulders, you can bring your focus back to the breath and use that breath to guide you through these sensations. Take one more full deep breath in. Exhale completely into this pose. And then gently start to walk those hands back towards the body. Not coming too far, because we're then going to wiggle the legs out long and come to lie down on our bellies. We're going to keep the forearms on the ground here, pausing in our Sphinx pose. So I want you to think about spreading your fingers really nice and wide, planting the elbows just underneath the shoulders, and then thinking about pulling the forearms back towards the body, so you really actively open up the chest. Allow the backs of the feet to be firm on the mat. Think about taking a full deep breath in and a full exhale. You're going to keep the right hand exactly as it is for the moment, and then allow your left hand to twist, so you bring your left forearm parallel with the short edge of the mat. Pause there for a moment, and then you might look back over your right shoulder. You might stay here if this feels comfortable to you and you're enjoying that sensation of stretching through the left side of the body as you turn the body over to the right. Or you might take a little bend into the right foot, squeezing that foot in towards the glutes, and perhaps you reach back for the right foot with the right hand, taking hold of the inside edge of the foot and just guiding that foot in towards the body, keeping that gaze back over the right shoulder. Take one more deep breath there, and then mindfully release the foot if you had it. Allow the right hand to come back down to the ground. Right hand plants and then twist your left arm so you're back to that Sphinx position. Take a deep breath in. Exhale completely. And then we're taking that on the other side. So twist that right forearm so it's flat and parallel with the short edge of the mat. Left hand stays where it is. And you can gently just twist your gaze over the left shoulder. That might be where you stay, and that is completely fine. Honor however your body is feeling. But if you're looking for a slightly more intense stretch, then maybe you take a bend into your left leg, guiding it in with the strength of the leg towards the body. And then perhaps you use the right hand to stabilize you as you reach back for the left foot with the left hand, finding the inside edge of the foot and then guiding that foot in towards the glutes, keeping your gaze back over the left shoulder. Take a full deep breath in and then gently release that foot. If you had it, bring the left arm back down. Plant both arms on the ground. Take one more deep breath in your Sphinx pose. And as you exhale, allow the elbows to move out to the sides. Gently soften the chest down and bring your forehead onto the mat. Whenever you're ready, bring the hands in to frame the rib cage. We're going to push the weight through the hands, roll the shoulders back, and lift the chest to find our cobra. As you exhale, soften your chest down, lowering back down to the mat. And then tuck your toes, push the weight through the hands, and start to lift your hips up to the sky. We're coming to our first downward facing dog. When you find your first downward dog, I invite you to take any movements that your body feels called to take today. You might like to pedal the legs out from one foot to the other. You might like to sway the hips out, or maybe you'd like to lift onto the toes and sink the heels. Or perhaps there's another movement coming to your mind that feels more comfortable to you. And of course, if no movement feels good to you and you just want to move straight towards stillness, then that is fine as well. Take a full deep breath in through the nose. And exhale it out through the mouth. And then with your next inhale, we're going to look forward to the hands. We're gently going to tiptoe the feet up to meet the hands at the front of the mat, finding our first forward fold. Allow the head to be heavy here. I invite you to take a bend in the knees. Even if your hamstrings are really open and you feel like you keep the legs straight and bring the hands onto the ground, I want us all to take a bend in the knees here because we're trying to slow down and allow the body to relax. So use the legs and a gentle bend in the knees to allow the chest to rest on the thighs, creating a little shelf for the body to relax into. And then you might like to take hold of opposite elbows, using the arms to just gently sway out from side to side, moving from left to right into your ragdoll position. Forward folds are an amazing position to enjoy when you're trying to slow down and relax, because they really do allow the body just to settle down and soften. So take your time here, there's no rush whatsoever. And then whenever you're ready, you might like to slow the movements down and just release the fingertips back down to the ground. Pause there, take a full deep breath in here in your fold. Exhale completely. And with an inhale, lift up halfway. Hands come to shins, you've got a nice flat back, gaze comes forward. Exhale, soften the chest down, forward fold. Root through the feet and gently keep the head and the neck heavy and roll up through the spine, lifting the chest away from the thighs and rolling up one vertebra at a time. Once you get to the top of your mat, allow the shoulders to roll down the back of the body, opening up through the chest. With an inhale, reach the fingertips to the sky. And with an exhale, allow the hands to soften down towards the heart space. Pause there, maybe close the eyes, and just take a moment to take a full deep breath in. And a full exhale. With an inhale, reach the hands to the sky, lifting nice and tall. And with an exhale, hinge from the hips, allow your chest to lead as you fold forwards. With an inhale, we lift up halfway, hands to shins. And exhale, we soften the chest down, planting the hands on the ground. Your right foot is going to stay exactly where it is, and you're going to step the left foot back behind you. Once that left foot has stepped back behind you, lower the left knee down to the ground and release those left toes. You want to check in and make sure that your right knee is directly on top of the right ankle. And then think about pushing the weight through the right foot as you inhale to gently sweep the hands to the sky. Move slowly here and with control, coming up to find your low lunge. Allow the hips to be heavy here. I want you to imagine allowing the hips to drop down and forwards so you find a real sense of release through the lower part of the body. Take a full deep breath in. As you exhale, bring the fingertips down to frame your front foot. With control, you're going to use the fingertips to assist you and start to straighten out your right leg, peeling the toes back towards the body. This is called our half split. You might walk the hands slightly further back towards the body here, and I want you to pause in this posture. This can be quite intense for the back of that right leg, so if you want to take a deeper bend in the knee, that's completely fine. Find a version of this pose that allows you to feel the stretch, but doesn't put you in any strong sensations of discomfort. And then think about allowing your chest to move forwards and down towards your right leg, feeling a sense of release through the body here. Pausing in this posture for a full deep breath in and a full exhale. And with your next inhale, gently walking the hands back forwards. We're framing that right foot once more. Plant the hands on the ground firmly, tuck the back toes and lift your back knee away from the ground. You're going to push the weight through the hands and step the right foot back to meet the left, lifting the hips to the sky, downward facing dog. Tune back in with the breath in this downward dog. I invite you to close the eyes here and just allow yourself to notice, without looking at your body, how much more length you can create with the spine when you allow yourself to push the chest back towards the thighs. Take one more deep breath in with the eyes closed. Exhale completely. And with your inhale, look towards the front of the mat. And once again, we're going to gently tiptoe the feet up to meet the hands at the front of the mat, finding our forward fold. Again, remember that taking that bend in the knees doesn't mean that you don't have the flexibility to go further. It's completely fine to take a bend in the knees at any time, just to allow the body to start relaxing. We're getting ready for a good night's sleep here, so sending the body the signal that we can relax and soften will just help you to find that sense of relaxation, ready for a great night's sleep. Take one more deep breath in here in this fold. And exhale completely. With your next inhale, lift halfway. Allow the hands to find the shins and bring your gaze forward as you lengthen the spine. Exhale, soften the chest down. Allow the feet to root into the ground and the head to stay heavy as you roll up through the spine, one vertebra at a time. Move slowly here. Really feel that uncurling of the spine as you come all the way up to standing, allowing the shoulders to roll down the back of the body. And just pause, noticing that sense of lengthening all the way from the base of the feet to the crown of the head. With an inhale, reach the hands to the sky, lifting nice and tall. And with an exhale, bring the hands down towards the heart. Really nice. Inhale, sweep the fingertips up to the sky. Exhale, hinge from the hips. The chest leads as you dive down into your forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway, hands to shins. And exhale, soften your chest down. Plant the hands on the ground. This time your left foot is staying exactly where it is and your right foot is stepping back behind you. You soften that back knee down to the ground, release those right toes. And before you do anything else, just make sure that that left knee is directly on top of the left ankle. Whenever you're ready, you sweep the hands to the sky, moving slowly so you can really feel yourself lifting up through the spine and finding your lunge. Thinking about lengthening through the spine and allowing the hips to travel forwards and down, releasing them into this lunge. Really nice, guys. Take a full deep breath in. As you exhale, allow the fingertips to soften back down, framing that left foot. And use those hands to assist you as you start to peel that left foot back, lifting the toes away from the ground and straightening the leg. Although we say straightening the leg, that doesn't mean that the leg needs to be completely straight. We're just moving in that direction. You might be able to walk the hands slightly closer back towards the body. And then think about looking towards the left foot, lengthening the chest in that direction, and then softening down as you fold towards this left leg. Releasing into the back of that left leg and feeling that sensation of opening through the left hamstring. Allowing yourself to pause here for one more full deep breath. And a full exhale. And with an inhale, gently walking those hands back down to frame the left foot. I want you to plant the hands on the ground here, framing that left foot, and lift the back toes, and tuck the back toes and lift the back knee. Think about shifting the weight backwards as you step the left foot back to meet the right, lifting those hips to the sky, downward facing dog. Really nice, guys. Take one more full deep breath in. You might like to close the eyes again and just tune in with this final downward dog. Allowing your body to find some stillness. And then with our next inhale, we're looking forward to the hands. And one final time, we're going to tiptoe the feet up to meet the hands at the front of the mat, forward fold. Soften the body into this forward fold. Notice whether you can find any more release. And you might find it nice to lift the hands away from the ground and bring them to the backs of the legs, using that connection with the legs to guide your chest further into this forward fold. Taking a full deep breath in. And a full exhale. And then we're going to use the hands to assist us as we gently lower down through the knees. We're coming down to find a seated position, so you might make your way down into a bent leg position and then walk the hands back behind you, coming to bring the legs out long ahead. Once you find that seated position, I want you, just as we did at the beginning of our practice, with the wide-legged forward folds, to start bringing the toes back towards the body. Think about activating the legs here. And then with an inhale, sweep the hands to the sky. Reach your fingertips as high as you can to the sky. Think about lengthening all the way up to those fingertips. And then as you exhale, hinge from the hips. Start to reach the chest forwards. Reaching forwards until you feel like you can't go any further. And then allowing the hands to soften down wherever they fall naturally. There's no pressure to touch the feet here. Your hands could fall down to the ground next to you, to your calves, even to the backs of the thighs. Really just find a position here that allows you to soften and find stillness. It's always an option to bend the knees here as well. And just think about, again, creating that space for the chest to soften down towards the legs. We're going to take one more full deep breath in here. And I want you to use your inhale to think about lengthening the spine, creating space to grow up to the crown of the head. And your exhale to think about melting everything down. With your next inhale, start to roll the spine away from the legs, coming back up to a seated position. And then we're going to take another wide-legged forward fold. So whenever you're ready, just create that V shape between the legs. Think about creating that activity by pulling the toes back towards the body, creating a nice tall spine. Whenever you're ready, we inhale to reach the hands to the sky. And as you exhale, you hinge from the hips and start to reach the chest forwards. Just like in that normal forward fold, we reach until we can't go any further, and then we soften the chest down. If it feels a little bit strange having the head hanging away from the ground with nothing to rest on, you might find it helpful to bring the hands, rather than in front of you, around to the legs, taking hold of the ankles or the calves, and using that part of the body just to guide you into a slightly deeper fold. Allow yourself just to be heavy here. This can be quite an intense posture, so just notice the sensation that this might be bringing up for your body. And then remind yourself that these forward folds are creating a really lovely sense of relaxation, maybe not to the forefront of your mind, but deep in the body, they're creating a sense of release and relaxation that's going to help you settle into a really lovely night's sleep. Take one more deep breath in here. Exhale completely. And with your next inhale, use the hands to assist you as you gently walk the hands back towards the body, coming to stand nice and tall. We're going to bring the legs back together and find a comfortable seated position to close our practice. That could be cross-legged, it could be the Baddha Konasana legs that we found at the beginning of our practice, or any other seated position that feels comfortable to you. I want you to find a position that allows the legs to feel heavy and really grounded beneath you, and that allows you to create length through your spine, lifting up all the way from the base of your spine in contact with the ground to the crown of your head. Allow the hands to rest wherever they fall naturally, and close your eyes. And take a couple of moments just to notice the breath, allowing your attention to settle on the inhale and exhale, moving in and out of your body. Noticing that ocean breath as it flows in and out like the tide. Take one more breath there, inhaling fully through the nose and exhaling completely through the mouth. I invite you to bring your hands together at the heart space, pushing those palms together. Allow your forehead to bow down to meet the fingertips, and just take a deep breath in gratitude for yourself for taking the time out of your evening to practice and set yourself up for a lovely night's sleep. I really hope this practice has helped you to feel more relaxed and ready to get to bed. Thank you so much for practicing with me this evening. Namaste.